Hello everybody and welcome back to the garden. In today's video we're gonna have a look how all the food is growing. Let's go! I thought we can start from the wildlife pond area. I don't know if you remember, I had my broad beans growing here on the edge of this bed. That's all been harvested already. It's more of the mole activity. There's nothing I can do about it. It doesn't seem like it's killing established plants, so it can stay, I guess. But yeah, in this bed, after harvesting the broad beans, I uncovered all the zucchinis that were growing inside. There should be 3 or 4 plants. Since they got the space and the extra light, they shoot off crazily. And they are starting to produce the male flowers at the beginning. It won't be long till they start producing the female flowers and then the fruit, of course. Over there at the edge of the bed, those are the voluntary potatoes from last year. So that's gonna be extra crop. I didn't plant them over there. They just come up every year. Let's move along. That's another area where I've been growing the broad beans. That's all been harvested. And all these areas in this bed and along the edge of this bed gonna be planted soon with my fresh beans that are germinating. I'm gonna show you that in a moment, but let's have a look at this bed. I have my cucumbers and gherkins. They are doing quite well. Since the last video, they probably doubled in size. It won't be long before they start flowering. The coco de pampol beans are gonna be getting their first flowers, so that makes me happy. But those beans are for shelling, so they're gonna stay here until the plant almost die, so it's gonna be a while. But the French beans are doing the same. We're getting first signs of flowers, so I'm guessing once they open the flowers, it's gonna be harvest on a almost daily basis for a couple of weeks. I even have my radishes ready. That's nice. I can have some on the sandwich. The veggie beds are doing very well. We just passed the summer solstice. So the sweet peas are doing what they're supposed to do. I need to cut off all the flowers. I'm gonna leave only a couple of them for the seeds for the next year. But the more often you cut the flowers, the more flowering the plant gonna do. And now on to the main veggie growing area. The grape, first of all, it's getting its flower clusters, but I think I need to prune it a bit. It's spreading way too much over the potatoes, which are just here in this first bed. Looks like they are doing quite well. They're growing nicely. I can't see any yellowing or anything. And here on the edge of the bed, I have my parsnips. They are doing brilliantly. It's a nice, healthy plant. I have a feeling it's going to work out well. Potatoes and parsnips, the same type of crop in the same area. It should work well. The potatoes are all finished. There's no more fruits. So soon I'm going to take off all the netting and do proper weeding in this bed. But that's going to have to wait for a while. All my cabbages, looks like they are doing brilliantly. So that's the view from the inside of the net. Here at the front are the red cabbages, further down are the green ones. Let me show you the green cabbages. I think they've started to form the heads already. I don't know how well the camera is picking it up through the netting, but yeah, they look much smaller. The golden acre cabbage is a small cabbage, but it's a fast growing one. And they already starting to form their heads. That won't be long. Oh, and this is the project that I'm keep on putting off. Those are my broccoli that desperately need more space. They reach the top of the netting, they're pushing it up. So I need to release those plants, otherwise there are going to be some problems ahead. Here at the front are all the carrots and leeks. Looks like it's all doing well. The leeks are growing nicely and steadily. The carrots as well. Yeah, there are small carrots forming. Fingers crossed, this mix of leek and carrots, and there's obviously some dill. I have dill popping out everywhere. I left most of it. But as I was saying, this mix of carrot and leeks gonna deter the carrot root fly. Well, that's the hope. We'll see. Here at the edge, I have some small lettuces. But after a couple of days of heat, we had a heat wave for 3 days. And after that, they all started to bolt. Lettuce doesn't like much heat, but never mind. I have some seed germinating already for the next lots. And let's move to the problem area now. As I was worried, most of my onion crop is wasted. That's an onion wide rot. Almost all this lot is wasted. Some of them are still holding out, but I'm not expecting the huge harvest. Half of the bed is gone already with the onion wide rot. As I said before, in gardening, you lose and you win. You never know what's going to happen. The outside corn is doing reasonably well. It's probably 30-40 centimeter tall. Oh, it's getting windy. Let's move in a greenhouse. Okay, here we are in my greenhouse jungle. Everything is looking brilliant. Let's start maybe from the top, from my gherkins. They are doing really well, exactly as I expected. They're growing in the self-watering pots on my floating shells, and they are starting to hang down with all their flowers and fruits hanging down. I've been having the gherkins on my salads and sandwiches for quite a while already. I like to pick them this size, no bigger than that. But as you can see, there's plenty of fruits everywhere forming. So this is working very well for me. Here under the cucumbers are my sweet peppers. They are doing well, starting to flower as well. Most of the plant. For whatever reason, those two are struggling. I have a feeling they lost most of the roots with the mole. I'm getting a mole here as well. That's a mole here in a greenhouse. But as long as the plants are established well enough, doesn't seem like the mole is killing them. But yeah, the peppers are getting there. Soon they're gonna start forming the fruits. Here in the pots are my two chili plants. They are just starting to flower, not much yet. I grow them in the pots because of the end of the summer. They're gonna move to the conservatory to finish ripening all the fruits. The popcorn in a corner is looking fantastic. It's well over a meter tall already. There's another bunch over there in that shady corner, but it's probably half the size of the one on the sunny side. We'll see what the difference gonna be in the yield. And now let's move to the grape. So here we are, the grapes. The plant is absolutely covered with fruits. I have a feeling it's gonna be a lovely grape harvest this year. First proper one from this plant. I brought it from Italy as a small cutting, don't remember, 3 years ago. Last year was the first time it gave me some fruits. But this year it went crazy. That makes me happy. On this side of the greenhouse are my tomatoes. They started forming the fruits. This one is the Italian variety, very nice for the sauces. Well, actually don't know. This is saved seeds from the store-bought seeds from Italy, some random variety that I like the taste of. So they might not come through. The shape looks alright, but we'll see with the flavor. The beefsteak tomatoes forming their own first fruits. The cherry tomatoes are there. Those are going to be the first one to try. The cherries always ripen first. I still have the garlic here at the bottom. I think that's all going to be dug out probably this week. It's getting a bit crazy at work. I don't have much time. But yeah, if you've been watching one of the previous video, I tied the tomatoes back to their sticks and remove all the suckers. That was about 10 days ago. That's how much they have grown. It's about 50 centimeters easily, all of them. So they need another session of tying up and removing the suckers. Okay, let's hope that the wind is stopping slightly and I can show you the last few bits. Here, just outside the greenhouse, are my potato containers. If you've seen the previous video, I've been harvesting them and replanting. They already germinating, most of them. This pot here was the one I harvested about 2 weeks ago. So this is all growing, and that was that potato plant growing next to my greenhouse. I had to dig it out and plant it here. Looks like it's growing well as well. So that's gonna be another flush of potatoes in probably 3 months. My crop rotation station is doing quite well. I think most of it is germinating, looks like. Well, except this corner over here, it's probably getting too wet. I might need to put a few more seeds and leave that tray up. All the water from watering is standing in that corner. So that might have killed the seeds. I'll do that today. So yeah, all these beans gonna be replanted at the edge of the first bed I showed you to continue the harvest. And last but not least, just next to the beehives are my 2 pumpkin plants. They are doing quite well. They started to sprawl already. We'll see how they're gonna do. If we're gonna keep the weather we are having at the moment, there should be no problems with the pumpkins. They do like heat. So yeah, that's the situation in my veggie area. I can show you quickly some of the fruits, because I think this year, I don't want to jinx it, but this year is gonna be one of the better years for the fruits, any type of fruits really. So let's start here from the pear tree. So this is the pear tree. It needs a bit of pruning on the top. All these straight suckers gonna get removed when I get time. There's no rush with it, but if you look closely, the pears are still green. They're gonna stay green, but there are hundreds of them everywhere. If everything goes well, it's going to be one of the best years for the pears I had in this property. But it's not only the pears. Let's move to the apples. Before we go to the apples, let's have a look at the peach seedlings. I'm getting peaches on all the trees. Let me leave that. Maybe that's going to show it better. There's peaches on all the young trees. I left all the fruits and I'm going to allow the tree to decide what it's going to keep, which fruits to drop. I'm not going to interfere. There's a couple of fruits on all the young trees. Well, more than a couple. But yeah, the peaches are working very well. But let's move to the apples now. Like with the pears, the fruits are everywhere. I don't know what variety of apple it is. It was growing here already when I moved in. I only know it's a cooking apple. It's quite sour. You can't eat it fresh. Well, as I said, it's a cooking apple. My wild Victoria plum, same story. Plenty of fruits. They are much, much smaller than typical Victoria plum, but they are lovely and tasty. That's another peach with plenty of fruits on them. All these young trees are, if I remember correctly, 3 to 4 years old. So I think they're doing very well. They've been grown from seeds. That's another apple here in the chicken area. It's laden with the fruits everywhere. Those are actually dessert apple. They are quite tasty. Let's move along to another fruit tree. Before we get to the fruit trees, let's have a look at the soft fruits. Those here are the black currants. Those are slightly later fruiting variety. I already harvested fruits from 3 of the bushes on the other side of the garden, but those ones are still green. Same with the red currants. They're actually getting slightly ready. And that reminds me, I need to cover them with netting. Otherwise, I'm not going to have any fruits. As you can see, the birds are picking all the fruits on the top that are actually red. So that's a job for today or tomorrow. My grape project looks like a proper success. The grape is growing on its own where I want it to go. And we're getting some fruits forming here as well. It's much, much smaller and later than the... Where are they? There they are. It's much, much smaller and later than the greenhouse. That's to be expected. It's growing outdoor. But we'll see. I should still get some fruits. Here, hidden under the grape, it's my experimental peach tree that turned out to be a nectarine. They're all from the same seeds, from the mother tree. I'm going to show you the main tree in a moment. But when you're growing stuff from seeds, you always have to expect a little of variety. But I'm actually happy with this one, if it's going to taste nice. It's nice to have some peaches without the fuzziness. And this is the main tree. I grew that one from seed probably 8-9 years ago, I would say. I brought it all the way from London when I moved. And there are peaches everywhere. It's going to be a really good year for the peach. The only tree that is successful in the garden that I bought from the garden center is this apple. It's a gala apple. It's a second year that is fruiting. I might have left too many fruits on it, but I'm too greedy to remove any more. Last year I had 3 or 4 fruits probably fully grown. They were tasty and lovely. So we'll see this year how it's gonna go. On the other hand, this Victoria plum that I got from the same garden center have only this 4 dying fruits. The whole tree looks like it's dying. Its friend, the other plum I bought, was growing here, that died last year. And in its place I planted this plum. I think that is a plum that I grown from the seed. It looks so much healthier and vibrant compared to this struggling one. It's always the case. If you grow something from the seeds, it's usually much stronger and healthier than whatever you can buy. It's a very young plant. I think it's a second, it might be third. I think it's a second year of growing. So there's no fruits on it yet, but hopefully next year or the following year, we're gonna get some fruits on it. That's the situation with the food growing at the moment. I think everything is growing really well. We just had a summer solstice, so the harvesting gonna start really soon. So fingers crossed I'm gonna have enough time for harvesting and filming at the same time, if the work won't get too busy. But yeah, for today that's all I have for you. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time very soon. Bye.